President Joe Biden will travel to New Hampshire today, where he is expected to announce a major milestone for the PACT Act. The president will address veterans and their families at an event in Nashua. The PACT Act, which boosts health care for veterans who were exposed to toxic substances like Agent Orange, was signed into law back in 2022. Since then, the law has provided over 880,000 veterans and survivors with disability benefits. Joining us now, White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, our friend Ken Thomas. Ken, good to see you. Certainly the PACT Act, a major milestone, one personal for this president because of his son, Beau, who he believes his cancer may have been caused by chemicals he was exposed to while serving in the Middle East. But there's also a political consideration. New Hampshire, which is always tight, tends to go blue in recent cycles, but you say it's a state that Biden needs to keep his eye on. Tell us why.
Yeah, John, it's one of those states that right now is outside the realm of the battleground map, I would say, but it's always a competitive place. And it's a state that's full of independent voters who know Joe Biden and Donald Trump very well. You know, they've seen both of these candidates multiple times in recent years. And so it's just a place that if you're a Democrat, you can't allow it to slip out of your column. And so I think that's part of the reason why they're going up to New Hampshire today to talk about this relatively new law. There are a lot of veterans in New Hampshire. And, you know, as you mentioned, this is an issue that's near and dear to the president. You know, he blames these burn pits for his son Beau getting cancer. And so, you know, I think this was something that he really wanted to make part of the law for veterans. And he's going to be ending the day in Boston to raise some money. And so there's also that consideration as well.
Perfect segue, Ken. Fundraising. So we just got the new numbers, and President Biden still has a significant advantage in terms of cash on hand. However, Republicans and Trump actually did outraise him last month. Is that setting off any alarms among the Biden re-election team, or do they still feel good where they are?
No, I think they felt like this was going to be a stretch in which Trump was going to outraise them simply because he can now raise jointly with the Republican National Committee. The amount of money that you can raise per donor goes way up, you know, more than $800,000 per donor. So this is typically the time in the presidential cycle when the challenger will begin to outraise the incumbent. You know, we saw it with Mitt Romney in 2012, for example. So, I think they feel pretty good about their position in terms of cash on hand. And the Biden campaign will say, you know, look, how are you using the money? You know, we're building an infrastructure in these battleground states. And in many cases, there's not a big Trump presence. You know, I was in Michigan over the weekend, and, you know, the Michigan Republican Party has been very dysfunctional, whereas Biden is opening up all of these offices around the state. And in a close race, that could make a big difference.
Yeah, certainly more blocking and tackling in the Democratic side right now. Let's stay on the electoral map for one more beat, a quick one. Trump was in Minnesota a few days ago. Republicans really pounding their chests about the chance to win Minnesota or Virginia, states that have pretty reliably gone blue. Does Biden camp think there's anything to that? Are they going to have to play there?
I don't think so. I mean, they sent some surrogates out. You know, you saw the governor and Senator Smith was out there as well, you know, pushing back against Trump. I don't think the Biden campaign sees that as a big threat right now. It's certainly something that's very important to Trump. I think they felt like in 2016, if they had maybe another week, they might have been able to put Minnesota in the Republican column. But again, it's one of these states that's sort of outside the battleground realm. And if we start seeing more travel into places like New Hampshire, Minnesota, Virginia, places like that, we might look at this as a potential expansion map for Trump. But I don't think that's the case right now.
All right, Ken, so last night the president had some pretty strong words of support for Israel at a White House event yesterday honoring Jewish American Heritage Month, including saying that what's happening in Gaza, not genocide. Tell us a little bit more about these comments and why it's such a politically precarious situation for him.
Yeah, I mean, this was really a stand by Israel kind of speech yesterday. He's trying to thread the needle to maintain support among Jewish Americans who are pro-Israel, while at the same time, reaching out to progressives who don't like what they see in Gaza right now. We saw him over the weekend in his his Morehouse speech, saying that, I hear you, I hear the protesters, and I'm listening to you. But at the same time, I think he feels strongly like, this ICC finding was outrageous, as he put it. And, you noticed in this speech at the White House yesterday, he said he will stand with Israel against the butchers of Hamas. And so, this is one of those cases where it's a real challenge to placate both sides. And I think they're hoping for some kind of deal with the hostages that will allow them to move forward.
Yeah, desperate for that ceasefire deal for lots of reasons. Covering a lot of ground for us this morning, White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal, Ken Thomas. Ken, thank you as always.